I had a problem with Expedia, an extended stay hotel in Victorville. They weren't complying with CDC. The rooms were nasty, nothing else to offer. They didn't give me my money back. And Expedia hasn't responded appropriately. Twice they shared they would refund my money, but there's no, I guess, they said that they were going to refund my money, but when there's a follow-up, there's no evidence of refunding my money. And what I would like to see is all of my $483 back. It didn't start with Expedia. Obviously, I purchased, my hotel bookings through Expedia for hotel extended stay here in Victorville, California. The owner there is Raj Patel. And it started there. I made the reservation online for my aunt and uncle, who are 85 and 90, who came into town on a red-eye flight for my mother's memorial service. I just buried my mother March 29th. I don't know if they could really see that, right? So I just buried my mother on March 29th. This was the whole reason that I made this booking. Okay, so we picked my family up from the hotel. We arrived at the hotel. It was a little sketchy, I'm not going to lie, when I pulled up to the hotel, but it was almost 3:00 in the morning. And so it was kind of people hanging out. It just looked like a lot of people hanging out actually in a parking lot to be almost 3:00 in the morning. But we decided to get their luggage out, keep them in the car. My husband and I, we went in, and on the front doors, as soon as they open, this hotel does have kind of like, the mandated order, for the face coverings. So it was so funny to me that they had that there, but the representative, Brad, who was working at the front desk, he wasn't really wearing his mask. It was up under his nose. The residents, the customers who were coming in and out, the caliber of people that were staying there were druggies. I mean, you can tell that they were doing drugs, that they had been doing meth. They weren't wearing their masks properly. And I took notice of this upon walking into the establishment. The floor was dirty. And I said to myself, oh my God, what is going on here? And I felt conflicted. I didn't know what to do, because that is not the type of places that we would normally stay. And I definitely wouldn't invite my aunt and uncle into town, who are 85 and 90, to stay in a hotel such as this. So I looked at my husband and I just kind of said, I don't know about this place, but I swiped my card for the $100 for the deposit, which was refundable. I got the key. It was room number 106. And it was right there on the first floor. And as soon as we made a left, all of the rooms that were on the bottom floor in that particular hotel they were thrashed. Like, there was no upkeep to the property. It looked like maybe a kid had took something and just banged up against every single, door at the very bottom. So it was just not good, And I told my husband, I said, I don't know if I could leave them here, and we looked at each other and we said, well, it is 3:00 in the morning. There's no room at our house, being that we're having a memorial service and all kind of family is coming in. And I said, okay, maybe we'll just keep them here for the night and I'll get someone else, right? So somewhere else. But that was before we got into the room. Okay. So we opened up, we were just still trying to be hopeful. You understand what I'm saying? Because it was late. We were all tired. But as soon as we opened up the room, you can immediately tell that room had already been lived in. Someone had already been all through the room. First off, you can tell that it was just dirty. It felt, how when you go to hotels and you walk in and you open the door, it feels very crisp and clean and airy. It felt like a dungeon in that place. The red couch that was right there in the living room area looked like it had been sitting at the back of a dumpster, because it had a lot of dirty oil marks on it. Most of the hotels that you go to, and I've traveled quite a bit during this time, most of the hotels that you go to really are taking the extra precaution. They are letting you know that they've touched these items, that they've touched the remote control, that they've cleaned the bathroom, that the microwave has been cleaned, because they put stickers on it. In this particular room, You went in, the tabletop was dirty. The microwave seal had already been popped and it was crumbled up, sitting on top of the microwave. We were horrified. The floor hadn't been swept. I just said, let me go look in the room and just in case. As soon as I hit the corner, the bed, it was made, but there was no way that you could have ever felt comfortable, even in the room after you've already experienced that. But as soon as we hit the corner, they have their Kleenex box with a plastic over it. The plastic was all cracked up. They didn't even, here's the kicker. Somebody had just gotten out of that shower. There was a clump of hair in the middle of the drain. I could not believe it. I was so beside myself. I could not believe it. My husband and I said, let's get the hell out of here. Excuse my language. We didn't even put the bags down. We're like holding the bags as we're walking through, trying to check it out. I came out immediately, went to Brad at the front desk, and I said, Brad, this room is disgusting. It's nasty. I can't stay here. I can't let my family stay here. I wouldn't even stay here. I said, you know what? Everything is dirty, as if somebody has been hanging out in there all night, And so he said, I understand, ma'am. He was actually very polite to me in person. And so I told him, I said, I'm going to need to have my money back. Here's the card. I gave him the key and I left. When I walked out, before I get to that, I'm so upset reliving this moment. I'm sorry. When I left the establishment, my husband and I got back in the car. Here we are at 3:00 in the morning with my aunt and my uncle and my 3-year-old toddler in the parking lot on the phone trying to find another hotel for them to stay at 3:00 in the morning. I was literally in tears. My mom passed away. Like, I don't need all of this, And so thank God, Comfort Inn Suites. I ended up walking over there because I was online trying to call Expedia, trying to rebook, and it was just too much chaos trying to do. So I walked across the street to the other place. The guy can see everything that I was going through. He was great. But I had to end up spending another $421 right there on the spot after I had already spent $483 through Expedia, for the hotel extended stay. And I didn't even realize that I had purchased insurance on this, right? Wasn't even thinking about it. I got home. I immediately called Expedia. Here comes the problem with Expedia. So I call Expedia. I share with them my issue. I get one girl. At first, her name was Ann. She was actually really great. She was very empathetic to my issue. She could see that this wasn't even my issue, And so she told me that it was because it was that time of morning or that time of night, she did not have a supervisor to escalate it to. That is a major problem with Expedia. Anytime a customer has a problem, they should be able to escalate to a supervisor right then and there. I was told that I was going to get my money back from Ann. She says, oh, no, you're going to get your money back. I'm going to talk to the supervisor about this. She then went on hold, put me on hold that night, called back over to Hotel Extended Stay in a 3-way conference call. She encountered Brad, who was at the front desk. He was a complete a-hole to her. Oh, I'm sorry. I left this out. When I was at the hotel and I came back and I told Brad that I couldn't stay there, and I asked them, did they have another room? They said they had absolutely no more rooms. There was nothing else to offer me. So it wasn't that I couldn't just stay there. There was no other opportunity for me to go to another room to see if I could even be comfortable there. There was no opportunity. It was take this nasty one or get nothing at all. And matter of fact, don't even get your money back. Okay. So back to the call with Ann. We called Brad, and Brad was very rude and disrespectful to her. What he told her was there was nothing that he can do, which was true. There's a supervisor. Her name is Tabitha. They don't have a manager at this hotel. There's only a supervisor that's there between 7 and 3:30. This supervisor deals directly with the hotel owner, and their name is Raj Patel. They are thieves. All they do is take people's money. They told me flat out, that they were not giving me my money back. They don't care if the room was dirty. Matter of fact, they haven't even refunded me my $100 that is due to any customer upon leaving. And this was beside me. Now, I couldn't believe that I'm going through all of this. And I'm an advocate, by trade. And so I know how to get in there and talk, but it was exhausting to me because of everything that I had been going through. After I buried my mom, after I spoke to Ann, I tried to see if somebody was going to call me back. Then we had the memorial for my mom. I was not going to call Expedia back and keep calling them back when I'm getting on the morning or the day after that I'm trying to bury my mom or grieve. It's crazy. Why do I even have to do this? I still don't understand it. So then I waited like 3 or 4 days so I can calm down. I ended up calling Expedia back. I can't remember this gentleman's name, but he was a younger, guy. But anyways, he was a complete asshole. I'm sorry that. And I don't know if we can use a-hole on the video or not. But I got so angry. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. And I said, what don't you get it? What don't you get? And I asked Expedia, I said, please tell me what I did wrong and what I should have did instead in order to not be in this situation. Because if I paid for insurance, right? And the insurance company doesn't want to reimburse me for this because it's not a typical situation, medical or an illness, okay? And this hotel doesn't want to refund me because they're basically struggling for money. It's a ran down hotel now that I see it. And from what I hear, this is the MO of that owner. These are the type of things that they do to their customers to stay there. And oh my gosh, you'll never believe this. So this was too crazy. After I got right across the street to Comfort Inn, and I came from Hotel Extended Stay, my husband ran into someone that he knew there, ironically, that was having their own memorial service for their mom. So anyways, his girlfriend came down. She booked a stay, just like I did, over the internet for a Hotel Extended Stay. She spent $900 and something, and she had to leave the hotel just like I did. I could not believe it. And how we both ended up at the Comfort Inn to have this conversation, I didn't even know this lady. And so it was that just shows you the caliber of hotel that is, the ownership. They don't care about the property, nor do they care about the people. All they care about is taking your money any means necessary. I could see that if with Expedia and Hotel Extended Stay, if they said you never showed up, or we offered you another room that was better and it still wasn't to your liking, then maybe I can see them having a leg to stand on. Not really, but okay. But that's not even the case. None of that is the case. So after I have this third phone call to Expedia, and I got this gentleman, his name is Muhammad. He was actually very good customer service, and he was just like Ann. And he could really sense my frustration. And for a second there, I was in tears because it just was overwhelming for me. And I deserve to get my $483 back. I don't even understand why I'm not getting my money back. I just, typically I would have took this way farther. Like I probably would have been in front of their hotel picketing with my own signs that I would have made, letting everybody know what type of hotel this is. But I'm still grieving. It's only been a few weeks since I laid my mother to rest. And I'm still chasing my money almost 30 days later. And I've had to call back like 5 times. And I've had 2 people from Expedia actually understand and tell me that I'm getting my money back and tell me that they're taking it to their supervisor. Even Mohammed was the last one that said, I'm holding on to this. I'm taking it to my supervisor, someone outside of this, and you will get your money back. I haven't heard from anybody yet. And at this point, I'm like over the edge with the whole thing. I'm not the type of person who who would just let money. I don't have $483 just to let go for something that I didn't do. So this is what I don't understand with Expedia. Why isn't there someone else to speak to besides the customer service person that you encounter? How come it is always a situation where somebody has to call you back? They take all of your information and then no one ever calls you back. And then you have to repeat the same cycle. And then when you repeat the same cycle a few days later, because you've had to give yourself some time to calm down through all of the drama and all of repeating yourself and all of the emotional stress that came along, with that, it's just like a constant cycle over and over and over. And then they understand why you get upset. Then why are you now, next thing you're cussing on the phone. Now you didn't call somebody out their name because somebody's not doing their job. I don't know if it's Expedia. I mean, obviously, the hotel property should have returned my money because their property was disgusting. And actually, they gave me a room that somebody else had been hanging out in. I mean, I wish that I had pictures because typically I would have been, trying to take some pictures, but it was so horrifying to me. And it was 3:00 in the morning almost. After we drove all the way from the airport in LA. Like, what? Nobody has time for this. We're tired. You know what I mean? And the hotel, not the manager, but the representative, Brad, who was there, he never came to the room to see or say anything because he already knew it was nasty. So, I mean, at this point, I'm looking for Expedia to give me all of my money back. My $483, the $100 that I did not get back from hotel extended stay, and the $383 that Expedia collected on their behalf, because really, I'm a customer of Expedia, right? I went through Expedia, and Expedia has to be responsible because if you have these hotels that you supposedly vetted, right, online, you vetted, you know what you're dealing with, you're basically advertising on their behalf. So when you have these hotels that say, because of COVID-19 restrictions, we have maybe amped up our cleaning, or we're taking, special precautions, or we're doing this and doing that. All of these hotels are telling you this, but when I rent and I get there, it's not actually true. So who's responsible for that? If Expedia doesn't want to take the full responsibility, then they need to share it. But all I know is that I need my money back. And like I said, Expedia was hopeful that I could use the travel insurance. I'm not going to make up some big lie to the travel insurance company just to get my money back. So they don't have Expedia is a huge company. You have millions of dollars. You need to refund me my money. There was nothing I did wrong as a customer. Absolutely nothing. And now I'm out of $483 because of your partnership with a hotel that you didn't vet, that are not following the CDC guidelines. Expedia, I'm gonna need you to run me my money. The main reason is because I am, a consumer who likes to get the word out. And if I have a bad experience, an experience such as this, like we're in the middle of a pandemic. We can't play with people's lives. So I would never, ever want someone else to book a stay there that was not a druggie or a meth head or someone, if that's your thing, then I get it, right? But most folks, that's not their thing. They don't want to be involved in that kind of environment. They want to be safe, and they especially want to be safe in the middle of a pandemic. So everyone needs to know that not only can you have problems with Expedia and you're going to go through high and hell water to get your money back, even if you get your money back, but you can't necessarily trust the hotels that they have on their website because they're not actually doing a great job with vetting these hotels. And then once you get a situation like this, and I'm sure whoever that other person was who I met that day, I'm sure they called into Expedia about that same hotel. I'm sure that lady was so pissed. I'm sure she did. So you would have to know that I'm not the only one. And I'm telling you, if you're looking for a safe place, a clean place, somewhere to take your family, don't take it to hotel extended stay. And know that Raj Patel is a thief, okay? That particular hotel and that owner is a thief. Why would they steal my money for something that was wrong with their property and they had nothing else to offer me? I look at that like a thief. And if Expedia doesn't give me back my money, then, I think that I might have to try to take some kind of action against somebody because I need to get my money back, And not only that, I would just like Expedia to check my personal account and see how many times I booked a stay at several other places since this incident on 329. The Marriott, the Hampton Inn, the Marriott Marina Del Rey. Listen, honey, I spend with Expedia. I expect to get my money back.